What I'm going to do in this talk is I'm going to basically make it really easy for you never to use a trainer. Anyone up for that? Like, don't have to pay for training. I'm going to give you the secret to learning. And the reason I say learning is because learning is different than training. I need to get in front of my post-it notes I gave all the speakers. So what I'm going to talk about is how can you take 5 minutes every day to learn? Because that's all it takes. It's about a little bit and often. And what I'm going to do is give you an outline of how you can do that. Now, this is one of my favorite quotes, which is about the formation of habits. And if you don't consciously form good habits, you subconsciously form bad ones. Charlotte spoke about her husband who listens to podcasts day in, day out. That's all about learning, what new ideas you're getting. You've got to build the habit of learning. The habit of exercise is going up and down the stairs every day, not killing yourself in the gym once a week, because killing yourself in the gym will actually probably end you up in a physiotherapist. That's what generally happens to me. So there's 3 parts to learning. The first one is idea. So anything that you do when you think about learning, it's about what is the idea. Podcasts are great for ideas. You've probably noticed there's been lots of great ideas tonight from the other speakers. But those ideas are nothing without conversation. Because what conversation does, it gives context. Because the idea just floats there until you embed it in what you do every day. So when you have an idea and you have a conversation, you can then execute. Are you practicing it? Are you trying it? Are you trying to do something differently today than you did yesterday? That's all learning is. Get an idea, talk about it, and then practice it. Some will hit, some will miss. But the point is, every day, what are you doing to get better? Because execution is when reality becomes success. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you some ideas of how you can do this every day without ever having to hiring a trainer. Read a blog, listen to a podcast. But the key is not you read it, get other people to read it, sit down, talk about what you got from it, and then decide how you're going to put that in practice. Listening in, most of you have voice over internet phones now. Listen into a call, talk about how it went. Back in the old days, we had phone splitters. My learning came from a manager that was willing to talk to me about what I did rather than just tell me why I wasn't very good at what I did. Feedback, we've heard lots about feedback tonight. Feedback is learning. And the most important thing I love appraisals, I love giving reviews because it's really about feedback and facilitating a conversation to help people do things differently next time than they did it today, not just telling them how many calls they didn't make or how many interviews they missed. Networking is a key part of learning because you learn from your network, you learn from LinkedIn. And the most important part about learning is, are you listening to people in your office? Are you shadowing? One of the hardest things about learning in today's world, so much is digital. It's so digital you can't see it. Try and stop leaving the room to make the phone call and make it at your desk, and then other people can learn from what you're saying. Watch a video. I know a lot of businesses on Monday mornings, they have a 10-minute video and everyone in the company watches it for 5-10 minutes, and then they talk about how that video can help them be successful. Everybody in the business takes a turn at suggesting a video and talking about how that can make a business a better place. Remember, it's not the idea, which is the video, it's the conversation about how we turn that into reality. Training notes, normally on your desk chronologically and where you left them on the day you got in. There's my training notes. Do you ever go through those training notes again? When you get back from a training course, do you speak to your manager and get them to review it with you on an ongoing basis? Some trainers, and Claire's not here anymore, will get you to write a postcard to yourself that they send you in 3 weeks' time to remind you of the things. It's about remembering what you spoke to do. We're specialists in forgetting as humans. We can't physically remember everything. We've got to look for ways to help us remember the good things. And lastly, but not least, use Little Ted. If you ever join the police, you'll get taught Little Ted, which is the first lesson in interrogation, which is tell me, explain to me, describe to me. We're not after confirmation questions. Have you done this? Have you done that? It's tell me how you've done it. Explain how you would do this. Describe what you would do differently. We are all the coaches for everyone that we sit with every day. The managers shouldn't be the only people that are coaches. So when you've got a colleague that says, I've had a great idea, ask them, well, tell me how you're going to use it. Explain to me how you'll put it into practice, because the conversation and the context will help people turn it into execution. So ask yourself, could you spare 5 minutes every day with you and your colleagues to take one idea, talk about it, and then turn it into some learning that will help you convert into performance? And that's what the Recruiting Gym's about. It's helping you learn to perform rather than just sit in a training room.